Hello, how are you? Thank you again for joining me. I'm Sandy Waters, and on the air today, we got a famous celebrity on the air with us. From Phineas and Ferb, and from Everybody Hates Chris, Vincent Martella. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good. How are you doing?
Good. Now, you are calling me from...
From Florida right now.
In Florida. Okay. But you grew up here in Rochester. You were born here.
Yes, I was. I was born in Penfield, and I lived there for the first few years of my life. And then I moved to Florida to get closer to the grandparents who had already moved down here to retire. And I've been coming up to visit every so often, but I haven't been able to get up there as often because of work in California. So
yeah, you're
I'm kind of like
busy.
living half and half.
You're pretty busy.
I'm trying to stay busy. I'm trying to stay busy. It's always the, got to keep working, but hopefully it stays that way. But I was fortunate enough to be able to make it back up here and be out here for the Special Olympics event and also the appearance at Captain Tony's, which was a lot of fun. And some visit with some fans and stuff. We
are so proud. We always love when there are stars that, grow up in Rochester and then move on to bigger things.
I wouldn't call myself a star.
I would.
I'm more like I'm trying to achieve that, but thank you. Yeah.
When I told my 6-year-old that I was talking to you, she was pretty excited because she always cites Phineas and Ferb and she always, talks about you. So you are famous. You are a star.
Perfect. I'm so glad. Thank you. Yeah. No, I'm glad they're fans. Yeah.
Do you, how did you land the gig?
Well, Phineas and Ferb was actually interesting because I had auditioned, but my audition tape wasn't actually how I got the role. I was working on Everybody Hates Chris at the time, the first season.
Okay.
So I was 13, and the creators watched Everybody Hates Chris, heard my voice on that show, and cast me based off of that. They wanted to bring me in to read, and I walked in and tried some voices I was playing around with and tried my regular voice, and they really liked what I was doing, and I got the role. So it was actually very kind of right place, right time thing where I was working on a show that they were watching, and I got very lucky. I was very fortunate to be able to work on it, and it's now been 4.5 years I've been working on the show. So. Oh,
that's awesome. And you probably walked in like, hello, I already auditioned for this. Why don't you just give it to me the first time?
Well, I had always, for a while actually working on the show, I didn't know that's how it worked. I had thought, they'd heard my audition tape, but turns out no, they had just watched me on Everybody Hates Chris, which was, hey, that was good, either way, I ended up with the role, and I've been having a lot of fun ever since.
Now, you play Greg on Everybody Hates Chris, and I have never met Chris Rock, but his wife I did have the pleasure of meeting, and she is just such a sweetheart, and they seem like such good people.
So great.
Yeah.
His entire family is so great. I've had the pleasure of visiting with them a few times, and they're so great. I love Chris's entire family, and he's a great guy too, and it was just great being able to work with him, and we definitely had a lot of fun on Everybody Hates Chris. A lot of fun.
We could talk forever about stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and we'll get to it, but I wanted to touch base, make sure that we did touch base on all the great things that you do as far as being the National Youth Ambassador for the Special Olympics and also the National Youth Ambassador for St. Jude's Hospital, which is pretty cool. How'd you get involved in that?
Oh, well, Special Olympics, actually, I was when I started working at Everybody Hates Chris, there was another show shooting on Paramount's lot that Henry Winkler was involved with, and I got to talking to him a few different times, and he talked to me with the charity work he was involved in, and it kind of made me want to get involved myself now that I was in a position to actually do something.
Yeah.
And I started working with Special Olympics in 2006 with some events in Florida, and just it grew from there. And I started doing events in California, wherever I was, and that just encouraged my involvement. And then St. Jude's kind of came after Special Olympics, where I was just like, well, whatever charities I can get involved with, I'll want to get involved with. And that kind of happened with some different celebrity events they had, the Power of Youth events they do in California and things like that. And I was able to get involved, and it definitely was a great experience. And I want to keep up with my involvement. Yeah.
And you said it perfectly when you're like, now that you have the opportunity to really make a difference, because, you are so humble, you don't want to consider yourself a star, but you truly do have more power than normal kids your age do have. And, you have more contacts and more influence on people to actually make a difference. That's pretty cool. That's pretty honorable.
Yeah, in that respect, it's definitely good, because if you have the ability to make a difference, obviously you want to and get the word out and do things like, support Eunice Kennedy Shriver's day, and do things like that where you can send out a PSA or you can talk to your fans and say, hey, everybody, get on board with this. This is a great cause. Support Special Olympics, support St. Jude's Children's Hospital, do all these different things. And then, you get the word out and hopefully get more support for whatever foundation you're working for.
And being involved in it, I'm sure you've seen so many just heartwarming stories, and it pretty much just kind of, gives you that motivation to keep going and keep supporting the Special Olympics and St. Jude's.
No, of course. I mean, when you see, when you actually go out and you do these charity events and you meet a lot of the great people who are involved, it just makes you want to keep coming back, and it makes you want to do as much as you possibly can. Because, all the people out there working are volunteering; they're giving up their own time, and just going out there and helping such wonderful people and changing lives. And it's really great to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You might as well, if you are fortunate enough to have obviously that ability, go ahead and do it.
The opportunity, right. Vincent Martella is who we're talking to today, and the voice of Phineas on Disney's Emmy-winning show, Phineas and Ferb, as you know, and Craig on Everybody Hates Chris. Vincent Martella, who made a special appearance, born here in Rochester, Penfield, came back to town, did a special appearance at Captain Tony's yesterday on North Winton. So that must have been wild. Everybody loves you, and it's cool to have you back in town once in a while.
No, it's great, yeah. It was a lot of fun getting a chance to talk to people who were fans of the work, and they came out to Captain Tony's, which was cool because we had a lot of Captain Tony's on the set and stuff while we were out working in California, and, it was good to go back there and actually visit a place with some good pizza once in a while, and that was a treat while meeting the fans.
Yeah. Now, okay, so you go to school in Florida. You live in Florida, but you do work in California. You're always bopping around?
It's kind of interesting because, I'm kind of going from one end of the U.S. to the other, but it's not that hectic of a schedule because, you have weeks off or a month off or whatever, a hiatus from work, and I get to come back and go to school because obviously education isn't something you can push out of the way. I'm trying to get, my education's still rolling, obviously, and there's too many people who kind of put it to the side and don't think it's necessary when they're acting, but it is necessary. It's very important. So I'm trying to keep both aspects of my life, to devote as much time as I can to both.
That must be hard, too, walking in the class when Phineas and Ferb, I don't know how much it pays to do voice work, but I can imagine it's a pretty good way to live.
Hopefully it gets me through college. That's all I'm worried about. That's all I'm worried about. As long as I'm not in debt and living on the streets by the time I get through my college education, I will be satisfied.
And that's always a good thing, especially now when everybody's talking about living paycheck to paycheck. That's a good thing. And then
it's definitely fortunate for me to be able to have a job and be working, especially at my age, and to be doing something I enjoy so much.
Yeah.
For it to be even called work, what I do. It's obviously a very, it can be, a lot of dedication and stuff, but I just get to do something I have so much fun doing.
Yeah.
So for me to have that position at my age, as well as being able to, continue my education without having to,
Yeah. Very impressive.
Struggle. Yeah. So it's very nice being able to do what I do. And I recognize how fortunate I am, definitely.
Do you want to keep with doing a whole bunch of things, get your fingers in everything as far as doing voice work for cartoons and yet acting on camera? Or is there a passion one way or the other?
No, there's definitely, I don't have a main focus on whichever one I want to do over the other because they're very, very separate kind of realms of acting. And, one is, I'm going to be in front of a camera. I'm going to be talking with all these other people and acting with other people in a scene. And I'm going to be doing all these things to my body and all these different things. But then, you do animation and it's just you in a booth with a microphone talking to a voice director and whoever else is there with you. And you're doing it all by yourself. And you're just trying to create all this emotion through your voice alone, around the booth alone. It's a very different world rather than acting on something like Everybody Hates Chris, but just as incredible. It's a completely different experience. It's something that I've really enjoyed being able to experience both worlds of that. It's very, very cool.
You can show up in sweats for one gig, and then you have to show up at makeup for the other.
I know everyone's like, you can just go in your pajamas, and you really can. I haven't done that yet. I'm kind of thinking I should one of these days, just literally go in and just full pajamas
Why not?
And you
feel more comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, from when I was 6 and just wear those.
Yeah, that's true. So you are in just kind of a studio doing Phineas and Ferb. You're in a studio, pretty much just you and then the guy who's coaching you on, inflection and whatever. There's no other characters in the studio with you to play off of and bounce off of, or?
Well, for Phineas and Ferb, we don't do an ensemble read, so we don't have other cast members in with us. But some shows do that. But with ours, it would be so difficult to do because, our cast members are in so many different places. I mean, you have Ashley Tisdale, who's working on music, and she goes on tour a lot in different movies. And you have Mitchell Musso, who's working on a television show right now for Disney. And you have Thomas Sangster, who plays Ferb, who lives in England. And it would just be...
I didn't realize.
Trying to get all of our cast. Because we do have multiple British characters who are, regulars on the show. So it would be just insane trying to get us all in the same place at the same time. But some shows do that. Ours does not, and it's an experience both ways. I've had the opportunity to work with an ensemble read before on a different show, and it's always very fun either way.
Yeah,
it's not boring no matter what you do.
And man, being a part of the Disney family is that's just golden, right? Doesn't everybody want to be part of the Disney family because they'll help you? I mean, there's opportunity there, right?
Yeah, of course. I was extremely excited when I first was able to work on Phineas and Ferb, because I still remember the first time I went over to Disney Studios in Burbank, California, and I was there and I saw the Frank G. Wells building, which is where Phineas and Ferb studio is now. And there's original animation from Snow White on the walls, and
cool.
It's all this classic Disney history that's there, and I'm a part of that. That's my life right now.
That's pretty cool.
Being there at 13 and saying, Dad, if I could work anywhere just for the rest, this is so, I want to be here. I want to be a part of this world. And I'm doing that right now. And that to me is very special. And I hope I get to keep doing it for as long as I can.
Yeah.
Because I recognize how fortunate I am to be in that position. And I recognize just how powerful of, a company in general Disney is, and it's very broad, and it's very cool. Yeah.
Vincent Martella, now not only Phineas Ferb, you also, as we said, work on Everybody Hates Chris and Chris Rock. We touched on that. There's such wonderful people, Chris and his family, his wife, because I met his wife, but you met Chris, you work with Chris. Is he just goofy on the set, or is he behind the scenes, or is he totally focused?
Well, it's interesting when you work with Chris. I mean, after seeing him, I started working with him when I was 12, and so I hadn't watched too much of his stand-up. Because,
oh, right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting seeing the Chris who everyone sees on stage, and then seeing the Chris Rock who is a writer and a director and an actor, and he is very focused, and he's a very dedicated person to his work, and It was very nice seeing that side of him, because you see just how passionate he is about the industry, and he was always very aware that he was working with children, which is very nice. And it's not something you see with everybody, where he wouldn't even swear around us.
Oh, really?
It was very cool, because you see someone who's who's so aware that he's working with children and cares enough to really just want to get the best relationship he can with us.
Role model. Yeah, and he probably is used to editing himself anyhow when he goes home.
Well, yeah, I know he has 2 little girls, so yeah, obviously he's got that at home. So, but it was definitely it was very nice having the opportunity to work with him, and he really, him and Ollie Leroy, who was the executive producer and showrunner, they both really kind of gave me that great opportunity to be a part of the show, and really kicked off my career, so that was nice.
Well, we're very proud of you, especially because you were born in Penfield. You're a local, grown, and we love it that you're successful, and we push much love and much success your way.
Oh, thank you very much. No, yeah, I hope it's for many years to come, and I hope I can keep giving it back to Rochester and come up and do more events. You
got it. Next time you come back to town, get us involved again, too, so then we can meet you again and get you on the air again.
Yeah, I should be coming up to Captain Tony's again, so hopefully people will just keep coming there.
Awesome.
And I can, get back up there and meet them, yeah.
Cool, you got it. Vincent Martella, the voice of Phineas on Disney's Emmy-winning show, Phineas and Ferb, and, of course, Greg on Everybody Hates Chris. You are an amazing actor. You're amazing at what you do with Phineas and Ferb. You are a wonderful person because you are so passionate about the Special Olympics and St. Jude's Hospital, and thank you for all your kind work with that. Great job. Thank you so much for talking with us.
No problem at all. Thank you very much for taking the time.